you grew up in Poseyville, played 4 years of basketball at North Posey High School, and 4 years of basketball at Eastern Illinois. It's safe to say that sports have been a big part of your life from an early age. How meaningful were your experiences in athletics growing up?
Well, I would just simply say that my experiences in sport have allowed me to achieve what I've been able to do in this life. And then sitting in this seat wouldn't have happened if I wouldn't have had a transformational coach that challenged me to see a vision of myself and of the future that I could see for myself. And without that experience in high school sports at North Posey High School, I wouldn't be doing what I do today. And so, and that only then was continued with my time at Eastern Illinois University. Again, it's a time to learn, time to grow, and it's a time to dream about what you want to do the rest of your life. And sport allowed me to do that.
Where'd you get your motivation to pursue education as a career?
Well, my mom was a teacher. She was a first grade teacher. My grandfather was a chaplain. My father was a state trooper. And so public service was part of our family the entire time I grew up. And so public service is something that I wanted to do. And I originally looked at another path more around the engineering phase of of things, but then I just knew that my calling was to coach and to teach. And so that's what I did at Evansville Central High School. And I was in the classroom for almost 17 years before I branched out and did a few other things.
Your path of education has hit nearly every rung of the ladder, from teacher and assistant coach to assistant athletic director and technology director. Why did you challenge yourself with new positions and responsibilities throughout your career at Evansville Central?
Well, I think everything just kind of happened naturally. I never have said that this is where I want to be, this is my end game, this is the job that I want to have. Everything just kind of presented itself. I've always believed that you just do the best that you can with the job that you have today, and good things will happen from that. And I think that's kind of the way my career is going. I was started in the classroom and I coached basketball and I did a little bit of everything. But I tell you, I really started learning a lot when I became a high school athletic director. And I will say today, that's probably one of the best jobs that I've ever had. And they've all been great jobs for me. But I loved being a high school athletic director. And it was a phenomenal start for me. And then obviously people saw that I could to do different things and gave me other opportunities. And I hope that I did each one of those with a lot of excitement, enthusiasm, and passion.
From Evansville to Indianapolis, what led you to athletic administration outside of your high school and more active involvement in the association?
Well, I've been around this association for 20 years. I was originally a board member, actually 23 years. I was originally a board member for the association, and that allowed me to see a vision different than Evansville, Indiana. I got to see how the entire state operated. And I never really had a desire to be anything but a board member, but finally a position here opened up and I decided to go ahead and put my name in it. And I was able to become the assistant commissioner. And I oversaw boys and girls cross country, basketball, boys basketball, and track and field, and learned a lot. And then when Commissioner Emeritus Cox decided to retire, I had an opportunity to apply for and was awarded the job here as commissioner. And again, that's been 5+ years ago now, and I'm really excited and be grateful I was able to do that. It's been a great run, and I hope to do this for a few more years and really affect and make sure that we protect education-based athletics.
Came to the commissioner's office in August of 2020 when all levels of athletics struggled with COVID-19 and how to keep athletic traditions and teams alive. How challenging was the first year of your tenure, and what did you learn from that time?
I learned not to look too far in advance. COVID was certainly met with all kinds of tragedy, with loss of life and adjustments in lifestyle. Uh, but I always knew that students needed an opportunity to do what they love, and that's participate in high school athletics. And we were able to find a path to be able to keep the lights on, so you say, where students were able to continue to participate. And what I'm really proud of because Indiana was one of the few states in the country that we started on time, we finished on time, and we always did it with full complement of athletes at every level of the tournament. We never had to tell a kid that they couldn't play. We had less fans. Um, but we always had the opportunity to participate. And the other thing I really learned is you can't, there's no crystal balls in this business. And we weren't able to um, see what the future brought to us or was going to bring to us. So we decided to make sure that we look at this in 2 week periods of time. That we never planned during that entire time beyond 2 weeks in front of us because we didn't know what was going to change because it was going to change. And I think those are the things I'm most proud about. And I had an incredible staff. They worked hard, spent a lot of hours here. This network is a product of COVID, and being able to grow at the level that we did, and we've continued to grow, but it gave us a big jump start into producing the IHR, creating the IHSA Champions Network as it is today.
Do you still see the effects of COVID-19 in high school athletics?
I recently said that I think the last thing that was on our agenda was the association went into debt, significant debt, to the tune of $1.5 million to keep the schools participating. So we didn't want to ask schools to put more in because they didn't have more. And when we made that final loan payment to get that off the books here in the association, and we did that in about a 3 year period of time. That is kind of signified the end for me, and there wasn't anything that was really left over from COVID. We were able to return to normal activity for the most part. And I think the one thing we did learn from that is to always be grateful for the opportunity that we have.
You recently added a new sport to IHSAA with girls wrestling. What goes into adding sanctioned sports to the IHSAA?
Well, it's a 3 year process when we didn't have a process that was actually achievable until the last few years. And now when we have, I think 40 schools in the state participating in the sport, then we have an opportunity to bring that sport in as emerging. If we see continual growth in the emerging status over the 2 years, a 2 year period of time, and then we eventually exceed or in excess of 100 schools participating, then our board would look at that, and then it would be a fully sanctioned sport. And emerging, they still follow all the bylaws and the rules of the association. But once it's sanctioned and they've grown to 100 schools, then we'll start offering a state championship in that sport. And we're happy to do that for girls wrestling for the first time this year. And we're going to do it later this spring for boys volleyball.
And kind of piggybacking off of that, do you ever look at the school population when adding sports, such as lacrosse in springtime doing baseball, softball, track and field, and others?
Yeah, we do look at that, and there's no magic science there. If if we have an athlete that plays soccer, they would just as soon lacrosse be in the springtime. But we have a student athlete that's a really good softball player, they would want us to have lacrosse in the fall. And so we try to follow traditional sports seasons that college may have, and we're pretty close to that. There may be a few variations. But for the most part, girls lacrosse is a spring sport across the country, and there's no perfect answer when we have to place a sport in an individual season.
What's on the horizon for the IHSA? What's the next big challenge or goal or step that the association will take in the future to enhance high school sports in Indiana?
Well, I think the biggest thing is one, we always want to understand how important education-based athletics are. It's not an athletic first system. It really promotes the classroom first. We have to make sure that we continue to teach that, and we let communities know that because we're in an ever-changing environment. There's big changes coming up. I think we'll look significantly at the transfer rules here and in the very near future. But we have to provide opportunities to change schools if that's warranted without taking away from another child's experience. And I think we always have to remember when we have a system and unfortunately, we have to say no occasionally. And in this environment today, and with parental choice and everything, there's not a lot of people that like to hear the word no. But in a regulatory organization such as we are, that promotes fair play and equal opportunity participation, there has to be rules. And I think that is going to be a big challenge for us moving forward to make sure that we maintain appropriate rules for today's society that still protect opportunities for students to participate.
We see a lot of work done with the Colts and Play 60 here in Indianapolis, and challenges and high school athletics play a key part in student health. What are some of the challenges that students and young people face with mental and physical health, and what are good, healthy ways to get kids more active and in sports?
Well, I think anytime you can participate, and I think so many times adults mess up a good opportunity for students. I think students really just want to play. They want to be part of the team. They want to be with their friends. And then we adults get involved. We want to play more games than the student they want to play, or we want to manipulate who makes the team or who doesn't make the team. And I think those things, as much as anything, affect a child, a student athlete's ability to have fun in sport. And we always have to remember that it is a challenge. It's tough. Being asked to do things that you don't believe you can do yourself become tough at times. And but it's oh so important for the development of students and kids. And so we have to remember those things. And mental health is important. And as adults, I think we can do a lot if we just understand students need to be students and just want to play.
What importance do the in-season tournaments like the Indianapolis City Tournament, the Porter County Tournament, or the Everwise Bi-County Tournament have to the IHSAA?
Well, they're all important for us. Anytime an opportunity to participate is afforded to a student athlete, I think that's really important. But when you put these tournaments on, they're in a community, and then the community-based athletics comes out because you're playing for something. And people who maybe went to that school in the future come out and support community members that have been, again, lifelong LaVille fans, want to come back to your high school and participate in an audience perspective where they can watch students play just like they got to play maybe when they went to school there years ago. And I think uh, those types of events remind us of how important community still is.
It's very special to, I think, everyone in those communities. How rewarding is seeing communities come together during these in-season tournaments like Bi-County?
Well, it's huge. I mean, I love going into a school that's got community-based support, and you can tell it as soon as you walk in the door of the school by what the pictures that are on the wall, by the trophies and the trophy case, by what people are wearing when they're going into the game. And I think those things are what makes Indiana a special place. And I hope we never lose that.
How often do you get to travel to attend local games and events?
Well, as much as I want to. I could go out every night of the week, and I certainly try to get out and watch games, and it's important. Schools like it when myself or the assistant commissioners get to go out and watch their team play, but officials really like for us to be out and support them in what they're doing, and it gives us an opportunity to touch base with officials along the way also.
What message would you like to share with the players, coaches, administrators, and fans attending the Everwise Bi-County Tournament this next week?
Well, I think it's important to understand that. Um, Support your kids, support your team, support your community, and support your high school. And the best thing you can do to support a high school is to buy a ticket to your local high school's event. Indiana, the Indiana High School Athletic Association, is a not-for-profit organization. It's not supported by tax dollars. And every school, every athletic department, for the most part, the officials they hire, the uniforms they buy, the meals they purchase, the transportation for students is not done with tax dollars. It's done with funds by somebody buying a ticket or sponsorships. And that's why it's important for communities to continue to go out and support their local schools.
Thanks so much, Mr. Neidig, for sitting down with us.
Thank you very much.